Hello everybody, welcome back to another adventure from Charlie's Adventures, where we tell you no lies. Well, today's not really an adventure, it's a project. And as you can see, my trailer floor here is rotting in this front corner, and it's starting to rot everywhere. And deer season's coming, and I've got new decking boards here to replace it with. And I don't know if any of you have encountered it, but these screws here are the Torx T25 Torx. Well, like that right there, I've tried to take some of them out already. They just break off or strip out, so I'm gonna forget trying to take them out, and I'm just gonna get my circular saw out here and cut and go to trying to break the bolts off. I'm giving up on trying to, and if you've tried, when I did the tailgate, the ramp on the enclosed trailer, it had the same screws. Tried to drill them out and everything else, and you can't. I didn't have a bit, you know, carbon steel would have probably did it, drill bit, and I didn't have one. Burn drill bits up. Those bolt or screws are hard as they can be. So anyway, I ain't even gonna worry with trying to get the bolt screws out now. I just seen that, and the ones that built the trailer, they put that wire for that side marker light across the top of that. That's strange, but it held up, I guess. So anyway, I'm just gonna try to find the cross braces for the trailer, which I can see them here, and I'm just gonna cut crossways here, and I'm gonna get these boards out just however I can, and then I'm gonna cut the bolts, grind the bolts, whatever I gotta do to put them in. So that's our project for today. All right, right now would be a good time for you to like, share, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell if you ain't already. That way you'll get notified every time Charlie's Adventures puts one of these videos out. And leave a comment. Alright, what I've done is I've set my Milwaukee circular saw up. I took a piece of this decking wood and I set the depth on it about the depth of the wood. I actually had it set and now I've messed it up, but anyway, I'm going to set it a little shallow, because if it goes all the way through, it's going to hit, it could hit the metal frame, and that'll be the end of the blade. So I'm gonna set this blade, like I said, a little shallow. After we cut through it so far, we should be able to break it on off. Alright, that right there should be good. Alright, I'm going to I can look through here and see where the cross braces are, Right here is one going all the way across, and then the tongue comes in. So I'm going to get right here. I'm gonna have to be careful not to walk where I've cut and break my neck. Like I said, it's not cutting all the way through. That's okay. I may have to set it just a hair deeper. Alright, I'm going to do a trial here. And just see. Yeah, I'm lacking a little bit. So I need to go just a little deeper on my cut. That one there, I'm pretty close. That was these ones. That was the ones that was rotted. So we're going to set our saw just a hair deeper. And something that we should always do is pull the battery out when you're doing adjustments and stuff like this. I'm not going to lie, I don't always do it, but we should. There's a screw sitting down in there. Alright, we're getting closer. I'm going to keep setting this blade down just a hair, a little bit at a time, until we get to where it cuts all the way through. And once we get her set, then she's set. And all these boards are not going to be exact, them weathered and everything. Where they're cut, crowned, I guess you could call it. There we go. Very close right there. So now I'm just going to recut what I cut earlier at that depth. All right, let's see what we got here. Got the screws up here at the front. I'm just pulling the board and the screws are pulling through. This board here is being ripped, so I'm gonna throw it to the side. Part of that and pulled off in there. Alright, now we've got down to that part. Now we're gonna have to do a little something different. We'll finish this out with the little sawzall here. I'm into the middle of the frame there. And this is a little hacksaw, it's not a sawzall. 12 volt Milwaukee. Does pretty good for what it is. I know a lot of you probably got the big ones, and that's fine. Another thing, you better watch out for your wires in under here. Check up underneath before you go to cutting with the sawzall or a hacksaw. I looked up on that one and just broke it off because it was rotting on that end. This one over here is still up under the channel that it sits in, so it'll be a little bit more struggle, but hey, what's life without a struggle? Right? Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to attempt to do something here. I don't know if I can do it or not, but we're going to try. Got it. All right, that's got that first section out. Then there's screws across this run, so I'm going to drop back behind there and cut again. I'm just going to do the same thing until I get them all out. All right, started getting these bolts out, and what I've done, I've got the boards out, I've got my grinder, I'm just reaching up in here to cut the bolts. Got wood in that and stuff. And these in this corners are not wanting to cooperate. Got it. Okay. Got them all but this one over here in this corner. Got to readjust my guard again. I believe that's all of them. And it is now. I'm picking up all the, boy, that one was hot. Melted my tarp. I had laying up here. But I'm picking up all the heads off of the screws that I've ground off and laying them up there. Now my trailer set up, it's just got a plate here with the holes already drilled in it to run the screws. Now I'm going to have to clean this channel out up here full of mud. Wish this concrete truck here was for me. Getting ready to pour a garage floor. Parked on the side of the 4-lane here, but it ain't. Wished it was. He's pulling out. I guess he's calling to make sure he had the right direction. Where to go. But anyway, I'm clearing out here on the rail in the front where the boards sit. And I wished I had the time to knock some of this rust off and paint down in here. But present time, I don't have the time. So I probably should take the time, but I can't. So I'm already behind schedule. Anyway, my nephew Jerry called me a few minutes ago, and that's what I was telling him. Behind the wire now. Alright, now I'm going to take my grinder and cut these screws off. First is the bottom. I'm trying to be careful not to drop them off in the yard here. That's all we need. There's a flat tire on the new mower. Alright, got all them ground off. I'm gonna let all them sit and cool before I pick them up. Mist going right here. Now we got them. I'm gonna let all them sit and cool. And I saw one, well, missed another one. Before I pick them up, I'm gonna let them sit and cool, because my fingers are still burning from that one. Alright, that's taken care of. Now back here toward the back, I'm seeing through. There's no wires or rails coming through frame. So I'm gonna stuff out here. I'm gonna all this off. Whoa, yeah, boy, them are rotten. Well, they're not rotting, they're just falling out. Rotting and falling out. How about that? And now, hopefully, I just pick up right here. Yep. Screw heads are pulling through the boards. I was hoping to break them off, but I just can't be that lucky today. Got to take my little hacksaw and when you hear that, you know you've hit metal. So I'm going to do that on both sides. And a little tip, hold your hand down on the board and keep it vibrating. I don't know if you heard that or not, but if your board's vibrating, it ain't cutting. You got to hold it still and keep your foot on the piece you're doing. That keeps it from vibrating too. Got that one. There we go. All right, that's all the decking off of this thing. Now I gotta cut all the bolts or screws off right here that they put across through there. Cut them off or grind them off, and we'll be done with the removal. What I've done is I've got me a 5-gallon bucket under here, and while I'm grinding these screws off, I'm just trying to get them to go into the bucket. You say, well, ain't they hot and melt the bucket? Well, they probably will, but it's a Harbor Freight bucket. Not really cool. Alright, I've got 2 that didn't go in the bucket. 3. One right here, one over there, and one up here in the front. I've got to get my magnet and find those 3. But other than that, I got them all in the bucket. Right here's one that's just rusted away. Just enough. There was 2 like that. Alrighty, we got all the decking out now, and all the screws. So I'm gonna grab my magnet and see if I can find them 3 or 4. 3. AMSOIL oil change kits for my car and truck, and they give me this free magnet, and I've already found one. I thought I lost the other part of it, but must not have. This is the other end. A lot of metal shavings there. Oh well. Must have been from when the trailer was built. I thought I remembered something else falling right here. I found one of the screw heads, and maybe that's what I saw fall. Nope. Got it. That's what I thought I remember seeing fall. So I'm just going to drag the magnet around to make sure it didn't let any of them get away. Yep, one more. Alright, that should have all that. Now let's go back here and see if I can find these 2. Found that one right off the bat. There we go. All of them accounted for as far as I know. But anyway, I bought AMSOIL oil change kits for my car and truck, and they sent this magnet for free. That was a pretty cool deal. Alrighty. Now, probably going to try to take the broom and sweep all these tracks rails out. All right, we've got it all, the deck off, as you know. Let's clean this channel out, and I'm gonna sweep these channels, angle, whatever you want to call them. I'm gonna sweep them out, clean them out the best I can. And, I bought this trailer, I'm gonna say back in 2008, 2007, something like that. I don't remember exactly what year, but it's been longer than 2010. I'm gonna say 2007, 2008. And I have pulled this trailer all over the place. I'm talking Ohio, you know, Georgia, I think maybe, Kentucky. I mean, this trailer has been a good one. And I bought it off of a guy, and that's an old tent stake in Rockford, Tennessee. He built them, and I used it for a long time when I was mowing, and then I went to work where I work at now and don't need it any, or, you know, I quit mowing anyway, not working for myself. But I have used this thing. A lot of people borrowed it, and it's been a good trailer. And this is the first time it's had a floor put in it, so that's pretty good. So if I would put this new floor in it and stain it like I should, this thing probably lasts longer than I will now. So that's a good thing. I tell you, I'm just almost inclined. I was in Ace Hardware the other day, and I saw a trailer light kit up there, and it's got the little side marker lights in it now. I'd almost run to Ace Hardware and get it and go ahead and install new lights on it right now while I've got it all apart. Right now would be a great time to put lights on it. So I'm kind of inclined to go ahead and do that. All right, I've got it swept out. I'm sort of thinking about doing that. Got a pretty good stack of old decking boards here now. And it'd be real easy to put the new light kit on it now, instead of waiting till the new floor is in.